Hello, everyone, and welcome to Up Sis Talkshow. This is the place where authors, especially Christian authors, have an opportunity to share the words of their testimony via their written work in order to inspire you to share yours. I'm your host, Angel Charmaine. And we meet here every Wednesday night at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time in order to meet a new author. Sometimes they're brand spanking new. Sometimes they've been in the game for a while. And sometimes they're like the author we have right now, getting ready to release a third, right? So she's been doing this for a minute. So I want to bring up a beautiful author. And I'm not just saying she's beautiful just because she just really is. And y'all are going to believe me when you see her. So let's bring up Miss Elena Neely. How are you doing?
I'm so glad to be here with you. I've been waiting patiently to get on your calendar.
Yes, you've been on for a minute. Your book is on Speak Up Sis bookshelf or books. Let me say that your books are on the bookshelf, but getting you actually on the show to talk about them, I'm like, come on, let's get it.
Yes. Thank you so much for having me.
You are welcome. So listen, tonight we are going to be talking about your series, and you write children's books. But before we get into that, I would like for you to please share a little bit about who Elena is.
Thank you so much. Elena is about as authentic as people can get. What you see is what you're going to get.
Mm-hmm.
I am a postal worker of 35 years, if you can believe that. And also,
wait a minute, hold up. You're way too nice to be. Yeah, you're way too pleasant to say you work as a postal worker. Are you nice when you're at work?
I told you what you see is what you get. I am always this way.
Okay.
And because I know ultimately my purpose, you know what I'm saying? And part of my purpose is to be naturally positive and to look for the positive. And so that's kind of who I am. And I've always dreamed of writing children's book all my life. And I finally just one day said, I'm going to do it. And here I am.
Have done it already, right?
Yes.
So your children's book series is Blessings for Living, and that's what we're going to talk about tonight. Now, when I first saw the title, I was like, bless. I kind of figured it was sort of a blessing lessons type of thing. Not really sure. But yeah, can you explain to us why blessings instead of blessings?
Absolutely. So it is a series of 3 books.
Mm-hmm.
The title of the book is Blessings for Living. And but each one has a subtitle.
Okay.
So but what it really is all about is that when you share lessons that you have learned, you become a blessing. And if you take lessons, and with the blessing, it becomes blessings. And they are blessings that I'm sharing for living this life. We're sharing them back to the lowest possible audience, the biggest blessings that there are. And we're like being a friend, being positive, being curious, being brave. If you can say it in such a way a young person can understand it, then they're getting these life lessons very early. So that's what Blessings for Living stands for.
So what made you want to do this? Because I know you said you've always wanted to write children's books, but why? Like, where did that come? Did you like listening to them when you were a kid or something like that? Like, why children's books?
Well, thank you for asking. And as far as I can remember, I love to read to my daughter.
Mm-hmm.
And I was an older mom when I had her. So it was something that we could do together. And I love that time we had together. And we would travel to the library once a week with a little bag, and she would be so excited to pick out 4 or 5. But it was hard to find really good ones, to be honest with you. I can remember some of the fun ones, but look, as a mom looking to give her things that she needs to
Right.
become a better person, they weren't there.
Got you.
Yes. And so that was a gap. And I noticed that gap. And so when I decided to write children's books, I said to myself, what do we really need?
Mm,
And all I could think about is we need all these lessons we're learning, teenagers and
right.
adults. We got to get them down to the lowest possible denominator. So how can I help parents
Mm-hmm.
have an entertaining experience with their children and also get them a lesson?
Right.
So if
Right.
I might just say, the first book is Planting Seeds of Greatness.
Right.
Blessings for Living, Planting Seeds of Greatness. And what has in there is things like thinking time.
Mm-hmm.
Who thinks about thinking time?
What is
But
thinking time?
exactly. It's like we need to sit down and think about what we're going to do tomorrow, what
Mm,
has happened during the day. And kids, they get put in a corner and say, time out. But it's
right.
really a good opportunity for them to start thinking about what they did, right?
Right.
So to think about what are the consequences of those actions. So thinking time is a good thing. Learning is a good thing.
Right.
Loving yourself is a good thing. And these are all blessings that were in the first 10 books. And then there's 10 in the second book.
Mm-hmm.
And guess what? Blessings for Living, number 3, just went to copyright yesterday. And it's
Yay!
entitled Blessings for Living, Always Remember and Never Forget.
Oh,
And there are going to be some whopper blessings in there, like forgiveness is free.
oh goodness.
And they're written in such a way just a young child would be able to pick up the lesson in it.
So each one, so even the third one will have 10 blessings.
Exactly.
It's amazing that you say that, because that's exactly how I write my conversational narratives. Each book has 10
Oh, awesome.
conversations. Yes. So the first book has 10 conversational narratives. The second, and I'm also working on the third, 10 conversational narratives. Thank you. And here again, this idea of sharing big concepts, abstract concepts, in a way that they're sort of bite-sized. I don't think just children need bite-sized, sort of easier to process ways of understanding abstract ideas. I think adults could use some of that too.
The people I've shared the book with, I often get that they say, adults could use this too,
Yeah.
or be reminded of it.
Yes.
Because sometimes we get a little caught up in, we're not positive.
Mm-hmm.
But being positive is easy to do. And one of my favorite ones in the Blessings for Living, this one is the best of being. I didn't hold that one up. That's the one I'm talking about today. Being brave, but one of my favorite is being grateful.
Do you want to share a snippet?
Well, if it's okay, I'd love
It
to
is
just share a
totally
snippet.
okay. And
Okay, so
listen, while Elena is getting ready to share a blessing with us, if you are watching, please feel free to comment. You can join the conversation. I do acknowledge you and all that good stuff. So feel free to join the conversation and show Elena some love. Y'all know how we do on Speak Up Sis Talk Show. So I'm totally ready for a blessing.
okay, this one is called Be Grateful. To be grateful is easy. Just appreciate what you see. Beauty is all around us. Just open your eyes and see. We all have things to appreciate. Just count a few with me. A new day, air to breathe, flowers and trees given to us for free. Gratitude is a special place where you will also find love and grace. When you are grateful for the smallest things, you'll always see the gifts that every day brings.
Oh, such a good reminder. That was
Isn't it?
that was a good reminder for me right now.
You know what? We took for granted that air to breathe, didn't we?
Yes, yes.
So
Until
we're
you
even more
gotta cover it up.
grateful for good air.
Yes. Just listening to you, I could see so many teachable moments for a parent in that. Because even as a little kid, you're like, oh, mommy, gratitude, like explaining things, opening, giving you opportunities to talk about these types of things, to ask your kids, like, what are some other things that you're grateful for, right? It's like a conversation starter as well. You teach them something, and it's a great way to start these conversations about so many other things that maybe we take for granted that, you can talk with your kids about. I think it's pretty cool.
I think you're absolutely right. And then if I might just say,
Yeah.
there's a twofold approach into why I love what I do.
Mhm.
It's not so much about the book. It's about the time that the parent spends with the child. And I mentioned this in one of my books, but my daughter and I read books till she was 17 years old.
Wow.
So from the time she was little to the time she was 17. Now, by the time she was 17, I was waking her up with a cup of coffee in her bathroom and the bathtub water run, and she get in the bathtub and I just sit there and read, something positive
Really?
for the day. But she looked forward to it, and it was our time together.
Yes. Oh, how sweet is that?
Yes.
Um, but you know what? It's those moments. Even now, my oldest is 21. My twins are 17, and my youngest is 16 now. But even in the evening time, when it's time to go to bed, one of the twins will come in and say, "Good night, mama, love you." Come over, put his big old head right in the crook of my neck, right? And hug. And it's those moments that are so sweet and so innocent, just like reading at 17, getting up in the morning just to read something positive to your child. I think when we start those things early, it's not just that. I think some people see it as, y'all really need to let those kids go. No, the children actually still love that.
You know what? I'm going to tell you a secret. I take care of I'm a guardian over my great nephew,
Mhm.
and he is 15. And I found this book, and it's for like maybe 8 or 9 year olds, and it's about money.
Mhm.
And I told him, "Oh, I bought you this book." And he said, "So I'm going to read it to you." I just told him, "I won't read it to you. So you just might as well get ready for it."
Uh-huh.
And I sat at the table, and he was right there. And I read it, and he loved it.
Yes.
He loved it. He
Yes.
just loved that time that I gave him, and it says a lot to kids. So I just provided them something that was, in my mind, entertaining and something that would also plant valuable seeds into their life.
Yes. So you've seen the Speak Up Sis conversations before, and we talk about the books and you I like to talk about topics. And I think that's this idea of community. I've really been in this space today with community and being community and taking community wherever you go and creating communities wherever you go. And I think it's really important that we start with children and being intentional. And I know this is a space where we typically look at adult literature, but I believe adults need to begin to invest in kids. And
Absolutely.
I like that I'm seeing so many children's book authors.
That's great.
So
Yeah,
many.
I
Have you
agree.
noticed it?
I noticed that. It's getting bigger. I love it. And I want to buy these books.
They're beautiful. And I
They
love the
are.
fact that we're seeing so many more underrepresented faces and characters and just all sorts of people in these children's books where children can see themselves. I've seen all sorts and I'm absolutely loving it. And I've been trying to encourage adults, like, don't just think about yourself when you're purchasing books. Get get books for gifts. So my kids, when they were younger, they did not watch television. They didn't listen to the radio when we got in the car. It was like Kids Bop CDs sometimes. If they did get to watch TV, it was like GPTV. You know, they watch like Barney and stuff like that, counting and whatever. And people would be like, "Angel, you just need to stop sheltering them so much." And I would say to people, that's our jobs. We're supposed to shelter them from things that aren't age appropriate. You know, they're going to get to those things.
They'll get
They don't
to
need to get to them now. And
it.
so we bought books. We bought them for Christmas, birthday.
Awesome.
They got books. They got activity books. They got anything, learning, reading, things like
Mm-hmm.
that. And so even in this space,
Mm-hmm.
I encourage adults, buy children's books. When you're thinking
Yeah.
about getting your grandchildren a gift, your own children a gift, when you're thinking about other people's kids, your kid is being invited to another kid's party, think about books.
That's right. And I have had a lot of great friends buy these books for their kids. And they say, I have a new staple for all of my baby showers that I go to because they're perfect gifts for the parents to read. And I have my illustrator, Terry Didham.
Mm-hmm.
He's amazing.
That's
The different, just everything he does, everything I write, he finds the most appropriate photo full of color. So if you looked at my site, all you see is babies totally enthralled in the book. They're
right.
totally enthralled in the book. So I just think it's a wonderful combination of things that capture the attention
Mm-hmm.
of the youth and then also give them the opportunity to grow. Get
Oh,
those seeds planted in their life about learning and how learning is a great thing and that their mind is powerful. These are all some of the concepts and blessings that we have in the book. And so just imagine 30 of those
mm,
very beautiful topics that you can put in their minds. And if I might just say one thing, it has a jingle in it. It has two jingles throughout the book, but one of them is a blessing is a lesson shared. It's a blessing to share. It's a blessing to care. Always remember and never forget. Blessings flow to help you grow. Oh, what a blessing it is.
I love
Yeah, so they can even sing a little bit.
it. Yes. Now, okay. So you're gonna have to create like a little CD to put in your books,
I'm
right?
gonna have to. I'm gonna have
Yes, you're
to.
gonna have to create a little CD, a little like downloadable thing or something, because everybody's downloading now, where
Yeah.
the kids can sing along with the jingle. I remember being pregnant with my first son,
Uh-huh.
and at the time I was student teaching, and when I went out to have the baby, my supervising teacher came to the hospital and she had this big basket. She was real artsy and everything, and she put all these things in it, and there was a book. And let me tell you, it was the first time that I ever experienced someone giving me a book for
Wow.
like a gift. And you go to baby showers and things, people don't give you books, right? But I probably should have known as an English teacher. But anyway, but she was like, this book
Mm-hmm.
is like a favorite of mine that someone gave to me for my kid. And I don't like to get into races and things, but let me tell you something. This is a white woman. And the idea, it was foreign to me that y'all pass down books. Like, white folks got favorite children's books that they pass down. They do. And listen, there's one in particular. And when she gave it to me and I read it, and everybody's like, it's going to make you cry. She was like, it's going to make you cry when you read it. And so I read it and I was like, oh, and it has a little thing. And so I read it to my kids. And I'm just thinking, if you want to give someone something special and precious, why not give blessings? Like, you're like,
Absolutely.
you know what I'm saying? That
Yes.
create those types of
That's
passed
right.
down generational.
That's right.
My mom gave me blessings with my first child, and so when your first child has a child, you pass this blessing.
Yeah, because they're foundational. They're foundational.
Yes.
Yeah, they're foundational.
But do you even think I never thought of that though?
Yeah.
Like, huh?
Right. I know. Because you're thinking, what is it that they would like, when they don't necessarily know what they would like, but I will tell you that they would love to have some time with their parents.
Yes.
Reading them books.
Good books, good stuff.
Wonderful books. And you got to start young. You know what I'm saying? You got to start young as possible. When they come out, you need to have them right there, and you need to have the books turning. And I have on my site this one young man. He spends so much time with his daughter, and they just sitting up there, and he is just reading to her, and she is got their little pacifier, and she just all propped up, and she is in heaven because she's spending time with her dad. But they're reading an awesome book that's also seeping into her soul, and it's going to help her down the line. Because I'll tell you, we don't know how we do know, but we're starting to realize more how valuable and how smart kids are.
Yes.
And how things shape them.
Mm-hmm.
You know what we just saw on the news yesterday, that young girl, the baby of Mr. Floyd, and she says, my daddy's going to change the world. She doesn't know how much that really meant. But she's getting a feel for it, and she knows, she's getting a feel for it, and she's going to be a powerful woman one day. You know what I'm saying? But it takes sometimes the youngest of all of them to give us our gifts. And so I'm just grateful that God blessed me with the opportunity to carry this message, and excited about the book. I am offering free shipping on my site, blessingsforliving.com. And it's just, the code is free 111. And I'm going to put that on my Facebook page and their Instagram and all that. But the fact is, we just got to get it in. We got to get the message out. And so the second message is that you got to be a blessing.
Yeah.
You got to be a blessing. You got to share things that you know with others. Don't worry about somebody getting ahead or anything like that. Forget about these blessings in here. As people, we've got to share the lessons that we're learning with others, so they don't have to go bump their heads. They don't have to rush, go through anything. So I appreciate you having this stage that offers authors the opportunity to come on, to be on your bookshelf, to be able to spread the word. It's invaluable. So thank you.
You are so welcome. So welcome. This was just such a peaceful conversation, and I appreciate you. God always knows exactly what we need. And I can see why you write children's books. You have such a calming spirit. You're just like smiling, and you're so pleasant. Do you see yourself possibly like retiring and just being an author full time? Is that on your list of things to do?
If my friends, my work friends were listening, they were like, yeah, yeah, absolutely, I do. And it won't be long from now that I will, but I just picked up a position that I'll be starting probably in June. But I was just elected president of Jack and Jill of America, Alexandria, Mount Vernon chapter.
Congratulations.
Thank you. And so we'll have lots of children to help grow and learn and share lessons with. And I will continue this work. And my business is called Blessings for Living.
Mhm.
I have a book series. I also have clothing now on my site.
Okay.
Be a full-time publisher, and I will be putting out things that enrich, things
Okay.
that are enriched to our youth and young adults, but helping them to be better people. And those are the type of authors I'll be looking for.
Okay. Excellent. Yay. Congratulations. And Angela, how are you doing? Thank you for joining us tonight and supporting Elena in this space tonight. Sis, I appreciate you. I thank
Thank
you for
you.
just choosing to list your beautiful works on Speak Up Sis bookshelf. It blesses my soul to be able to support what it is that you're doing. So I appreciate you. So everyone who is watching, whether you're watching tonight or whether you're catching this on the replay, make sure you hashtag replay and let me know you got an opportunity to see it. You all can support Elena and not just, okay, back up. Thank you, Lord. I don't like to say, I really don't, because it is supporting you. But I like to remind people that it's not about supporting the author, it's about investing in yourself, investing in children. When you purchase children's books, you ain't the one reading it. I mean, it's my show, so I can say it like that. It's my show. You're not reading it. So when an adult purchase a children's book, what you are doing is not, oh, let me get this book so I can support this lady. No, you're purchasing a book that you're going to bless a child with, which means you are investing in the life of a child. And if I can just please get on my English teacher soapbox just for a second, do you all know that the children who score highest on SATs and just about all standardized tests are children who read? That's a statistic. You can look that up for yourself. I didn't make it up, right?
Right.
So you start your children out early, reading to them, allowing them to read to you. Like Elena said, it's about that quality time, that parental time, that adult, that auntie niecey time, uncle nephew time, grandma grandbaby time, right?
Right.
Invest in babies, invest in children early by purchasing beautiful books that show them themselves, that teach them something, not just the egg is green and yellow or whatever. I drop bars and I don't even be
That's okay.
right?
Right.
Get them books that teach them.
Miss Angel, my daughter is a graduate of Cornell University.
Oh,
Because she loved books and she loves reading, and I don't know if that was exactly what got her there, but I will tell you that she got there on her own. And you just don't know what it is that's going to make a difference. It could be something they heard. One of the blessings is do your best. So you are saying you're hitting a home run with what you're saying.
Oh yeah. So go get the book. Books, because I like people to know. Like I expect you to go purchase a book or two.
Blessings for living.
Yes, and if you want to know how you can get them, the book is on Speak Up Sis bookshelf. scrolling at the bottom, speakupsis.com/bookshelf. If you scroll to the bottom of the screen of that page, you'll see a bookshelf. And one of the bookshelves is labeled children's books. If you click on those books next to children's books, you're going to see the Blessings for Living. There are two of them, Seeds of Greatness
and Blessed for Being.
Yes. So grab both of them and give them as a bundle to a child, right? You can do that. And just so, if this is your first time joining us, just so you know, going through Speak Up Sis Bookshelf to find the book is not going to take anything away from Elena. It's linked directly to her site. So when you go, it's just an easy way for those of you who follow Speak Up Sis to find her book. You just go to speakupsis.com/bookshelf. You click on the children's book section of the bookshelf and it opens up. As soon as you click on her book, it will open up to her site. So Angel's not getting any money from it. Just for anybody who don't want, it's like, I ain't gonna get it off the bookshelf. It's not like that, okay? It's just a different way to give her more exposure from the Speak Up Sis community and people who follow this platform. All right. So with that, I would like to give you an opportunity to share your contact information. So if anyone wants to follow you or get in touch with you, they can do that.
Great. Well, I'm on Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn on the simple Blessings for Living, and .com is my site. And today's offer is definitely free shipping on me, and that's free 111. I'll post that same code, but I certainly appreciate your support, and I certainly appreciate you.
Oh, thank you, sis. I appreciate you as well. All right, everyone. We are out of time for tonight. I'd like to thank author Elena Neely. Yes, 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 yes. I'd like to thank her for joining me tonight on Speak Up Sis Talk Show. This is the place. It's the best place. It's my favorite place to allow authors an opportunity to share the word of their testimony through their written work in order to inspire you to share yours. Again, I am Angel Charmaine, and I am here every Wednesday night at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time with another amazing author sharing their works with you. You all have a beautiful evening, and I'll see you next week. Good night.